Hey everybody, I am back. I apologize for not streaming for so long. Let me turn that down a little bit. But yes, I was quite sick for about a week. But now I am back. And today we're going to play some Romancing SaGa 3. Once every 300 years, the rise of Marastrum, an event where the dark sun blocks out or the dark star blocks out the sun, threatens the very existence of our world. All born in that year are doomed to perish before its end. Whether man or beast, none have a chance at survival. I am quite a big fan of Saga games. They're certainly not for everyone, but I thoroughly enjoy them. What is up, Nemo? The Art of Nemo. Okay, so this is very odd. This character in the original Japanese is a guy, the one in the background. In the international release, they made it a woman and call her the matriarch. That is a change that I do not understand. But yes, the matriarch was a hero of the ancient past that fought the archfiend. I guess that makes the international version like the Netflix version of the game. Also, this game is top tier music. Hello there, Emperor of Cheese. Welcome. Well, there's Gawain, the dragon. Oh, this is such a cool fight in the game. This scene right here, when you fight on Gawain's back. I love that part. This is a very... Oh gosh, there's so many layers to this game. It's like Shrek. You could play this game... Like, look at this. This right here, this is a mini game that you play when you're in the actual game. This is like... You play it mostly when you're playing as Mikhail. There's like a war mini game. There's a business mini game. Like, each of the characters has something different associated with them. It's crazy how much effort they put into this. And the original Super Famicom game never came to outside of Japan, I don't think. There was a very popular patch, the Mana Sword patch, but until this remaster, it was never released outside of Japan. Which is a shame, because it's really a gem of a game. Unfortunately, Saga games don't get like the attention or budgets that other Square Enix properties get, even though Saga is like their second oldest franchise, like other than Final Fantasy. Let's do a new game plus. Why not? Just click new game. Start game with previous data. Yes. And then I was playing Thomas last time. I can explain a little bit. I've got Julian save files and a Thomas save file. As you can see, I got max HP on all of the characters I was using. We'll load that data. Now, you get to select one of 8 playable main characters. There's Julian, Thomas, Mikhail, Khalid, Sarah, Ellen, Monica, and Katerina. And the story, especially near the beginning, kind of changes depending on who you pick as your main character. So, for instance, I was playing as Thomas, the second guy right here. And Thomas has like an entire business minigame associated with him, as I was saying. So it's actually a lot more fun than it sounds. I don't know if I want to do Thomas again. Mikhail is the one I was telling you has the war minigame. Khalid is pretty interesting stuff. There's actually areas in the game that only Khalid and his story can go to. And I should mention, by the way, that even though you play as one of these characters, you can actually recruit the other characters in your playthrough, depending on what you're doing. Like, in my last save, I used Thomas, but I also used Ellen, because I wanted someone who was good with axes in my party. Sarah is an interesting choice. It's hard to talk about why without spoiling things, but, you know what? Why don't we choose her for the time being? Because, Monica, Katerina, and Mikhail, they have different intros. Sarah, Ellen, Julian, Thomas, and Khalid, I think, have very similar, pretty much the same intro. And I think Mikhail, Katerina, and Monica have different ones. But, I mean, I haven't even played all the characters, and, you know, I've played quite a bit of this game. I mean, there's 8 different main characters, and the main story, if it's your first time playing, the main story is probably about, like, 30 hours or so. And then if you're playing on New Game Plus, it's significantly lower, depending on what you do. But still, I mean, if you think about that, like, let's just say for the sake of argument, that's like 20 hours per character. 20, 40, 60, 80. So that's like 160 hours to do all 80 characters, roughly speaking. But you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you want. There's just tremendous replay value in this game. Let's pick Sarah. Alright. Confirm. Oh yeah, and when you select your main character, you get to customize them a little bit. So you get to pick one of the stars, and the stars will determine basically their stats, right? So there's the Hunter star, which I believe that gives her extra power. Scholar will give her extra magical strength. Hang on, let me check this out real quick. There's a really great website. If you're interested in playing this game and you want more resources, I highly recommend Romancing SaGa 3, the blog spot. I'll throw that in the chat in case anyone wants to take a look at it. It basically explains anything you need to know about the game. I can also explain it because I know this game pretty well, but it's pretty complex. So don't feel afraid if this seems overwhelming and you want to look up more stuff to do research and understand the game better. Let me think. I think Sarah, I was using bows with her before. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can't really mess up the characters. We can give her Artemis. That seems appropriate for her if she's going to use bows. And then you can select a signature weapon. So sword, axe, short sword, spear, club, great sword. Let's just give her the bow. So we're putting her under Artemis and bow. Yep, go ahead. And we can go ahead and get the game started, and it goes right away. So there's Julian, Thomas, Sarah, and Ellen. Sarah and Ellen are sisters. Looks like the coast is clear. There's a storm a-coming. Ellen has kind of a like a southern accent. I trade monsters for lightning any day of the week. Sis, why do monsters hide when there's lightning? I guess the same reason why cute little puppies do too. I knew there was always a reason I called Sarah cute as a puppy. Let's get inside before it starts raining. Yeah, see, here's Monica. So if you choose one of those characters, that's how it starts. But if you choose Monica, the game would probably start with her. I don't remember. Your legs cannot give out. I've got to reach him. No. You gotta leave the horse behind. It's like Shadow of the Colossus. At least it's not as sad as the never-ending story. Oh, and at the bar over there is Khalid. Man, it's really coming down out there. That will have to worry about goblins so long as this keeps up. Tom, you mind if I talk to Ellen? By all means. Yeah, so Thomas is kind of the well-spoken aristocrat. Julian is kind of considered the main character of the game. If you look up the artwork and whatnot, he's usually the featured guy. And Julian, interestingly, has a romance story in his game, so that's kind of what sets him apart from the others. I could use your help rustling up something to eat. Pardon us, sir. Permit us a run of your kitchen. I guess the bar owner just lets them cook their own food. Okay. Tom, you really can do everything, can't you? Well, it's tradition for men in the Bent family to be raised multi-talented. We don't believe in making the women cook and clean while we go out winning glory on the field of battle. My grandfather really drilled that notion into me. Drilled? Surely there's a nicer word I can use. Sounds like there might be some mail here. I wonder how Julian's doing. Someone, please, I need a horse. My kingdom for a horse. You okay there, miss? It's no time to be running around outside. I've horses, young lady. Do yourself a favor and stay out of it. That young lady is sister to the Marquise of Lone. Isn't that right, Lady Monica? Must be something serious to find you in this tiny village run off your feet and sopping wet. None of my business, if you ask me. The Marquise's sister here in such a storm? Then that's all the more reason we should help rather than turn our backs. That's right. You got to think about it. If you're protecting royalty, that's a big payout right there. I need to get a message to my brother, Mikhail. Please, I must not delay. Oh yeah, Mikhail is her brother. Hey, Pops, can you lend us some horses? You're going to charge headlong into a forest overrun with monsters in the middle of the night? No one's that stupid. Julian kind of is a little stupid. He's a himbo. He's right. You're no good if you go by yourself. I'll come too. And how about you, mister? You bark out a tough game, but is your bite just as tough? That's right. Call him out. In the 3 months since Marquise France's passing, there's been trouble with Mikhail's ascent to power. Someone wants him out, and while he's away from the castle is when they'll strike. Yeah, if you play as Monica or Mikhail, you learn a little bit more about what Khalid is saying here. You won't see a single aurum for your efforts if they're busy burying him next to France. And Missy here appears to be without her purse. I never work until I get paid. The House of Lone has protected the people of this land as if they were family. It's time we repaid their efforts in turn. Sir, you seem like you'd be quite capable. I have no money, but I do have horses. Would that interest you at all? Horses? I suppose that'll do. So are you two coming? Julian, I'd be happy to be of assistance. Tom, I knew I could count on you. And Sarah wants to go as well? She's my little sister and I'm worried about her. Spare me the family history, just make up your minds. By my blade, the Khamsin, I swear no harm shall come to you as we travel. Did you say the Khamsin? That means you're the legendary tornado. Yes, some have called me that before, but the name is Khalid. Julian Nord. Ellen Carson. I'm her sister, Sarah. I'm Thomas Bent. It is my good fortune to make your acquaintance. I am Monica. That's all well and good, but first, Lady Monica, you should rest. Eat, recover your strength, and we will depart at dawn. No, there isn't time. We must make haste. Absolutely not. You wouldn't last 10 minutes in your condition. A good night's rest will enable us to make swifter progress tomorrow. Be sure to guard Lady Monica closely. You can leave the monsters to me and my sword. And here we go. Just jump right into the action. But first, let's go through our inventory. None of our items have... We have to wait until we can access the bank in order to access our items. And also, when you do a New Game Plus, your HP does not cross over, but your weapon skills do, which is why, if you look, Julian has like a sword skill of 47, which is in-game. Ellen has a hammer/axe skill of 44. Thomas's Genbu and Lunar Arts are very high as well. I don't think he keeps his spells, though. Let me see. He does. Okay. Nice. He's got Stone Bullet, Shadow Bolt. Yeah. So yeah, you can kind of see the basic stats and how everything works here. I forgot that Monica is actually in our party. I've never used her before, so that's why her stuff is a little bit weak. That's a lot of people to start with. You need them. This game is kind of brutal at times. Let's go into formation. We got a bunch of different formations here, and formations actually matter significantly. Yeah, you don't want to use free-for-all. In normal gameplay, I like to use Rising Phoenix. I'm going to put Sarah in the back here. And put Ellen up front. Alright, that works. But yeah, all of these formations, like, these are not just... They're not visual things. Each of the formations has different, like, passive effects. So, like, Genbu stance is a defensive formation. So, you can see all the characters get a speed debuff, which means the enemies pretty much always go first. But when you're in Genbu stance, you get passive regeneration on all of your characters as well. And I believe it gives you increased defenses, too. So, actually, all of these different formations do affect your character's stats, and they do come with their own separate effects. And it's, I mean, if you read the flavor text, it kind of gives you an idea of what each of them does, but if you want to know what they do in depth, I highly recommend looking on that website I linked to. But yes, there is a lot of strategy in terms of this game, and the formations are a big part. Like, especially for boss fights, you might want to go for more defensive formations. Because you can't use your inventory in battle unless you equip items to the characters. So, I mean, actual healing spells, they're few and far between. Well, not few and far between, but, like, what I mean is healing options are few and far between. This isn't like a Final Fantasy game where you can just use the item option and then use your entire inventory. You have to actually equip items to your characters, like this bomb that Julian has. They each should have one. But yeah, otherwise you have to use spells. So you better hope that you don't get a game over in a single battle. Alright. Anything else before I go? Settings. So in a lot of games, you want to have dash probably to make things faster. I highly recommend keeping it on walk. Because if you dash into enemies, it breaks your formation. I can actually show that off if you guys want. But that is an actual game mechanic. Skills, we can go in here and set some skills, because all of my skills pass over. Let me make sure. So she's got bows, longsword, yeah. So I can just go in here, click learn, and she's got all of her bow skills. Sidewinder, skill learned, quick knock, it's pretty good. Flash arrow, And Rapid Volley. Julian, let's give him some of his sword skills. The best is, of course, Golden Dragon. I mean, it's very broken to have these right now, but I'm just messing around in the game, so I don't really care all that much. Doppel Slasher, Gale Slash. I mean, Golden Dragon is all you need. Ellen, let's give her Deadly Spin. And also Mega Hawk. Mega Hawk is a multi-targeting skill, so it's pretty nice. Thomas uses magic, so we don't really need to give him anything right now. And Khalid also uses sword skills, so let's give him Golden Dragon. Alright, I think that's good. Yeah, we don't have access to the bank, so we can't get all of our inventory yet. But let's get into a battle. We got Dogs, which is a beast. Campson. We also don't have our good equipment yet. That's fine. Hunting Bow. And we'll have Thomas use Soul Freeze. Yeah, we're gonna own these enemies. I like this animation. And there we go. You also notice that there's no levels in this game, which is typical for Saga games, so your individual stats will increase after battle. You don't get levels ups. And now I'll show you. So you saw that formation we were in, sort of like 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 1 in the middle. So if you dash into an enemy, I'll show this off right here. Yeah, it says formation broke. So that's actually, you want to walk into enemies, because breaking your formation can actually, it could actually end the game for you. Stone Bullet. Yeah, the graphics, the way they touch things up is really good. They kept the same sort of Super Famicom style, but made it a lot cleaner, and it looks really nice, in my opinion. We surprised the enemy. That's because we touched them from behind. Very cool. We can do some other things. Oh yeah, I got Yo-Yo. I can show off some of the more powerful skills if we want. Shadow Servant is really good when you get that in the endgame. Golden Dragon. You can see that does quite a bit of damage. But again, we're doing New Game Plus, so there's a reason for that. You got snakes for the snake enemies. What are these called? Yeah, Serpent Fang and Fae. And as the case with all the other Saga games, obviously the enemies you fight are dependent on the sprites on the map. So that's why I pointed out that there's snakes. We're fighting a snake because there's an entire line of enemies that are snakes. Just as I point out that the dogs on the map were beasts. So as your battle ranking increases, which to increase your battle rank, you just get into more and more battles, the enemies you fight will change. So like I could get into a fight with one of these snakes and then fight the enemies, and my battle ranking can go up, and then I fight one of the other snakes, and suddenly I'm fighting more difficult enemies, because the game has sort of a scaled progression like that. But it does take a little bit longer for your battle ranking to go up. So it's not like it's completely random. It's not like you're going to fight one enemy, and then your battle ranking goes up, and then it just progressively gets out of control for you. It's actually very natural in terms of the scaling for the battles. here we go. Boss fight. This should not take too long. Yeah, also for the remaster, they took the sprites and animated the bosses, so you can kind of see it's I don't know, it reminds me of Dragon Bones, the way that they did it. I don't know, some people don't like it, but I don't necessarily mind it. Nemo says it. Yeah, I mean, it's not like... It doesn't ruin the game for me. I could take it either way. It would have been nice if they gave you an option. That's a grumpy-looking bird. Yeah, there's a version of this that's... well, a lot of the sprites, they actually were pretty clever with how they handled it, because they took this sprite and made it a griffin sprite. So, like, they kept the front claws, but then they added, like, a whole torso under it. So some of the ways they made variations were actually pretty clever. If you go on that website I linked to, there's an entire section for the monsters where you can see all the sprites. And, yeah, this probably shouldn't take too long. What's the name of this enemy? Yeah, Calderwing. That's right. It's unbelievable that such a powerful monster would show up around here. Maybe the rumors about the Abyss Gates opening after the rise of Marastrum are true. Monica, why in the world are you here? I come bearing grave news. Godwin is conspiring to overthrow you and seize the throne. We don't really get to see much of this because we're not doing Mikhail's story, but this is something that you would get to see more of if you play him as the main character. Yeah, it's related to that war minigame I was talking about earlier. I ask that you escort Monica further north to seek refuge in Podarui. Podarui, great. First goblins, now vampires. That's right. Don't be so quick to judge the vampires. Count Leonid has been a friend to Lone for generations. Count Leonid, also a character that you can recruit later on in the game. He's a trustworthy ally, more so than most humans. And Leonid is actually a pretty unique character. There are qualities to him that no other characters have. Monica, I trust you have no objections. If you feel it best, brother, then that is what I shall do. Of course, our friendship does not preclude him from his vampiric proclivities. You will need to make certain that Monica does not return with an aversion to sunlight and a thirst for blood. Okay, gotcha. Go and make what preparations you must. Halt. Yeah, we've been through this. How serendipitous. I ask you stay behind and accompany me to Lone. The four of you should be sufficient escort for Monica. As long as you pay me, I'll go wherever you want. The winds of fate must be stirring in my favor to have brought the likes of the tornado into my service. Once Lone has been secured, secure the loan, I will send a messenger. I trust you'll not fail me. Yeah, so if you're playing Khalid, by the way, as the main character, you would do all of this, but then now you would go with Mikhail as Khalid. But obviously we're not Mikhail or Khalid, so that's a separate story that you can do on your own playthrough. I'm not a little girl anymore, and I'm going to show my sister that I can stand on my own 2 feet. Okay. With that, we lost Khalid and got Monica. I forget, what does Monica use? Short swords. I do have something for that. Let's learn... I did not learn the best short sword skill, but we can give her a screwdriver, and firecracker is pretty good because it's it hits all foes. And Southern Cross is pretty strong. Okay, it seems that I'm back. As I was saying, I'm giving Monica a screwdriver, firecracker, and Southern Cross. Southern Cross is one of the better short sword skills. Firecracker is really good, though, because it hits all enemies. So that's pretty nice. Alright. Let's go to on the path to Podarui. Oh, we got some bugs. Let's fight bugs, and there's goblins. Oh, the arachnoids. I really love their sprite. I love the arachnoid sprite. It's such a cool spider monster. Alright. Stone bullet. Oh, I forgot to change my formation. Darn it. Like I said, I did not mean to do that. I like Rising Phoenix, but you can play around with whatever you want to do. Put Julian up here, and I think this works. And obviously, depending on the way you have the characters in your formation, it also depends on how... well, it also determines how enemies target them, too. So if you want your characters to be less targeted because they're less defensive, put them in the back row. If you're wondering what the green wavy things on the screen are, I should explain that real quick. So when you use spells, there's a chance that a spell will create a field. So if you use a fire spell, there's a chance it creates a fire field. Earth spell creates an earth field, water creates water, etc. And this green wavy thing actually means it's a wind field. I think it just does it automatically in this area. But fields do matter significantly because, for instance, if a field is up, a boss might get like regen. So like if you're fighting a fire boss and there's a fire field up, they're going to get like passive regeneration from that. So what you want to do is like cast spells to change and get rid of the fire field and change it into something else. Again, not totally relevant now, but just keep that in mind. Goblins. Should be Dobby. Yep. There's a goblin. No, I don't want to go to the title screen. Dobby is a recurring goblin in Saga games. In Saga Frontier, he even shows up as Mecha Dobby, since Saga Frontier is more futuristic. Let's go fight the plant. There's a plant on this bridge that's a fixed encounter. Oh yeah, I like the rose spiders too. I thought about having like a rose monster in my game, a living rose bush. I guess because I like Biolante in Godzilla. the Victory fanfare is totally different from the Final Fantasy one. Yeah, I mean, it has similar aesthetics to Final Fantasy, but I mean, a lot of the main team did not work on this game. Because, I mean, Nobuo Uematsu did the soundtrack for Final Fantasy, and the Kenji Ito did the soundtrack for Saga games. Both soundtracks are really good. I especially love Minstrel Song's soundtrack. One of the themes in my game is actually inspired by Passionate Rhythm from Minstrel Song. You gotta love a flamenco battle theme. There's a battle theme in my game that has very, I wouldn't say flamenco, but Spanish guitars. You can see Monica is doing much less damage than everyone else because I've not actually used her. I'm trying to get Thomas to go. Because Thomas's Stone Bullet, his mastery of Earth Magic. Oh, yeah, Monica's dead. And everyone's attacking her. His mastery of Stone or Earth Magic is so good that it can, like, multi-target things now. Since that happened, I should explain something else for people that are not familiar. So if you look on the left-hand side here, you have an HP stat and an LP stat. So HP is obviously hit points. LP is life points. And so if your character's LP goes to 0, you lose that character from your party. Very similar to Fire Emblem, right? Like your character just dies. So you want to avoid that, and there are some items that can heal up your LP, but that's something to keep in mind because after every battle, right, you get healed. Your HP gets healed, not your MP or SP, but your LP is the thing you really want to watch out for. So you can see, even though Monica, like her HP was 0, the enemies were still attacking her, and that's because they were doing LP damage to her, not HP damage. Oh, here's a frog. What are these wrappers? Yeah, as I was discussing with Nemo on his stream, I've been playing Romancing SaGa 2 just in my free time, and I really enjoy it, but in terms of graphics or visuals, man, the enemy sprites in this game are just top tier. SaGa 2 does not compare. Yeah, once Minstrel Song goes on sale, which it probably will be, these games usually go on sale, I'll definitely pick that up and probably stream it. Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song, for those who don't know, is basically a remake of Romancing SaGa 1. So if you're wondering why there's only 2 and 3, and then there's just Minstrel Song is 1. Is it true they are related to Final Fantasy? Kind of. Actually, the SaGa games were originally called Final Fantasy Legend. That's how they were localized. So if you look up, you can find the collection of SaGa, and those are the games. It's like Final Fantasy Legend, which were like Game Boy games, right? Yeah. So in Japan, Final Fantasy Legend was Makai Toshi SaGa. And then from there, yeah. So a lot of games were just called Final Fantasy as a marketing thing, but the original Final Fantasy Legend games were actually part of the SaGa series. But yeah, that's why I was saying earlier that it's really a shame that Square Enix doesn't give a budget or time. And to be fair, the sales of SaGa do not come close to the sales of Final Fantasy, but it's like their second oldest property that's still ongoing. So, I don't know. Here we have an enemy. This is Hamaitachi. Nemo and I were talking about this. It's not a weasel, but it is like a wind creature, which that's also associated with the yokai. Yeah, this is actually, when you're doing a new game and you fight that's a pretty difficult encounter when you're going through for the first time. So be careful. You might want to save before you fight it. And do not, I'm going to give you some advice. If you're playing this for the first time, don't be afraid to liberally save the game. There's nothing wrong with it. And now we're here. Podorui. So let's go down here. This is the town where, well, up north is where Leonid lives. Count Leonid seems to prize the Holy Grail above all else. They say it once held the blood of the matriarch, you know? We get to learn more about that later in the game. I'm readying myself for the Count. He prefers women who are sound of both body and mind. Yeah, so Count Leonid is apparently looking for a new woman. I believe the Count may be inviting a new young miss to join him at his castle soon. And here we have a strange young boy. He says, just leave me alone. Well, I'm sure he's not important. Had I only been born a woman, then the Count might give me the gift of eternal life. Well, you could always identify as one. The vampires in the castle may be immortal, but they remain wholly unable to leave. An odd way to have peace, but it works. Welcome to the Bloody Stake. Yeah, so if you go to pubs, you can talk with the barkeep, and he can generally give you ideas of things to do. What's the word? The Count's castle rests atop the northern hill. Banter. Your customers must be enchanted with your wares. I make out all right. So yeah, sometimes you actually do need to go to the bars and talk to people to understand what's going on. Because if you're not familiar with SaGa games, they're basically open world. The introduction is pretty linear, as I said, but once you get through the introduction, you can do almost anything in the game. I mean, you can go and fight many of the endgame bosses if you want. You're just going to lose, but it's very much like Breath of the Wild, except as an RPG. Let's talk to this guy. We don't need to buy anything. What do you have to say? You're not from these lands. Here, women like me must live in fear of being made into a foul creature of the night. So some of the women seem totally okay with becoming a vampire, and others seem to hate it. Oh, this is a mage. You can get magic from her. She sells lunar magic. Thomas already has lunar magic. You gotta be careful. So one thing you'll notice, by the way, some of these characters have crowns. Like Ellen and Julian have crowns next to their SP stat. And the other characters do not. And what that means is, if your character masters something, they gain a crown. And you can get a crown in either physical, like SP is basically physical skill points. MP is obviously magic points. And so you can either get a crown in physical skills or magical skills, but you can't get a crown in both. And getting a crown, what that does is it actually reduces the cost of using those skills by 1. So if Thomas got a crown in the magic category, he would actually, his stone bullet costs 1, and then if he got the crown, it would cost 0. So he could just use the stone bullet freely if he wanted to. And there's various ways of getting and keeping the crown, because you can lose crowns as well. Basically, you want to either focus on making a character purely physical or purely magical if you want to go for the crown. So just keep that in mind. But it is pretty nice to get that reduction, because some moves or some skills just require 1 SP or MP to use. If you get that crown, they're free to use, so you can spam them as much as you want. And now we gotta head towards the castle. Yeah, this enemy is called Lobo. It's a really strange translation, because in the original Japanese, it was called Landwolf, I think. And there's an enemy in the game called Skywolf, which is like an upgraded version. And that makes sense, because there's a Landwolf and a Skywolf. But then, when they translated it, they called it Lobo, but then they kept the other one as Skywolf. So it doesn't make sense, like you lose that connection. They made some odd translations in this. Let's fight a bird. Helldiver. Alright, and now we're at the castle. Let's go find Leonid. And there he is. Welcome, Lady Monica. You are even more beautiful than the rumors say. If I may be so bold, even your great-grandmother Hilda would be jealous. Forgive me, I've yet to introduce myself. I don't often receive guests, you see. I am the master of this castle, Count Leonid. It is our pleasure, Count. I am Monica, sister to the Marquise of Lone. How did you know we would be coming? Bordeaux offers little to entertain an experienced imagination, I'm afraid. So I fill my time with what rumors trickle in on loose lips and light winds. So you are aware of the dire situation my brother now faces. Do you think you could send aid to him in some fashion? Yes, I am aware of his predicament. However, Mikhail needs not my help. You may rest easy while you are here, Lady Monica. Clear your head of these troubles. But do mind where your feet take you, as some of the castle's defenses and other residents can be a bit temperamental. Allow me to show you to your rooms. So we can follow this guy who's showing us to our rooms, or we can go to the left. Because Leonid has an entire dungeon down here, and we shouldn't be doing this, because we'll get owned at this point. But hey, it's New Game Plus, so let's see what happens. There is a boss at the end of this dungeon that we cannot beat. I don't think. You actually can beat these bat enemies, though. And it's not a bad idea, so you can get this treasure chest over here. But we gotta fight this first. Okay. So we're starting to get some interesting enemies now. Oh my goodness, 400 orums. Also, all the different characters you play as, they have different expressions when you open chests. It's pretty funny. So Sarah's like, oh my goodness, 400 orums. If you played as Thomas, he'd be like, forsooth, 400 orums. Let's save. And Julian's an idiot, so he'd be like, yeah, 400 orums. I do like little touches like that that makes it the experience different for each character, though. Let's go down further. If you're playing this game for the first time and not doing New Game Plus, do not do what I'm doing here. Oh gosh. Yeah, this is gonna be, I'm gonna save. This is gonna be a toughie. Not this one, the one that's standing there. Mega Hawk. Rapid Volley. Okay. Okay, save real quick. Yeah, these poison putrid giants. Yeah. These guys can take quite a bit of damage. So we're gonna spam strong techniques. And Ellen's dead. Yeah, they're gonna one-hit KO. Yep, they're both dead. Come on, Thomas. Oh, God. Oh, no. Julian... Southern Cross. Okay, good. Whew! Awesome. Let's see if we can get these chests down here. Oh god, the shamblers. They're zombies with giant cleavers. Okay, but these are not as bad as the giants. Rapid Volley. I guess they're not cleavers, they're just giant scissors. The zombies in this game are pretty cool. Let's grab this. Ooh, a barrier stone. Pretty good item right there. Barrier stones, if you want to see. You use them, creates a barrier allowing safe rest, so it completely heals your party. And there's only a few of those per playthrough. Save again. Like I said, do not be afraid to save many times when you're playing. Like I said, I'm playing on New Game Plus and I'm still saving before I take these fights on. Got it. A ring of fending. We could probably equip that since we don't have anything else right now. Give Sarah some defense. Save. Oh god, zombie dragons. Or dragon zombies, sorry. Deadly spin. Quick knock. And you just try to live, I guess. Come on, Thomas, get that soul freeze off. Oh, no. Never mind. Oh, no. Actually, I should have attacked the one on top with Golden Dragon. That wasn't the best choice. It doesn't matter. It's okay, that's why you save. I shouldn't be doing this anyway. See, if I get a game over in a lot of games I play, I stop playing because I don't care. But I do like this game so much that I will continue playing, even streaming. And let me rest assured, if you play this game, you will get a game over. Probably multiple times. I think the first time I played this game, it took me about 10 to 15 tries to beat the final boss, and that was just the final boss. So if you're one of those people that thinks Final Fantasy is just so brain dead and easy, I wish RPGs were harder, well, you could play one of these games and try it out if you want. Alright, let's go back to doing what we're supposed to do, which is we're going to take a nap. We're tired. What do you have to say? Word has just arrived that Marquise Mikhail has won the day against Godwin's army. If you depart within the hour, you should arrive home within short order, and the Marquise will have retaken Lone. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we don't have to take a nap. We owe our triumph today to the heroic efforts of many, yet there are some whose valiant efforts truly tip the scales. Khalid, Thomas, Julian, Ellen, and Sarah. Not one of you is my retainer, yet you heeded my call for aid. And here we have all the different characters. The purple hair woman, or the purple woman on the side, is Katarina, who we haven't seen much of. You kidding? I had a blast. So yeah, if you want to figure out what Khalid and Mikhail and Katarina were doing, you can play their stories and see that side. I was just showing you this one. Several days later. And this is where the game opens up. Now we can basically do whatever we want throughout the entire world of the game. But we should go to the pub first and talk to our friends, because we can recruit them if we want. I'm going to join the new Princess Guard protecting Lady Monica. Sarah, do you think you'll go back to Sinon? I get it. After all we've been through, who could go back to the simple lives we once led? Maybe a while till we see each other again, Sarah. Take care of yourself. Yeah, so you can't recruit Julian. You can later in the game, though. Lance is famous for the famous Matriarch Museum. Okay, I think that opens up Lance on the map. If you want to recruit an ally, part ways with an ally, or get information, try visiting the local pub. That's right. But remember, no liquor for the kids. I don't think any of the characters you get are kids. Except for maybe Peony. But she's a fairy, so I don't know how that counts. Have you seen the Archfiend Palace? It still stands on the outskirts of Pedona. We'll be going there. It's one of the first places that I recommend going. What do you have to say? Nah. See you later, Khalid. Ellen, you want to come with me? What about you, Thomas? Yeah, let's take Thomas. I think Ellen will come with us. Alright. We got Ellen and Thomas, at least. And I believe, even though Thomas isn't the main character, I think if you have Thomas in your party, you can still do the business minigame. So just keep that in mind. But I mean, don't worry. There's like 30 different playable characters, so you'll want to keep that in mind. You can only have 6 in your party at a time, though. So as that lady was saying, if you want to drop a character to put a new one in your party, go to a pub and just part ways with an ally. Alright. So now we're on the world map. I don't know, I think Lance might open up since that lady mentioned it. Let me see. There's Potorui. That's the place we were just at. Okay, no it doesn't. So we'll probably want to go to Pedona first. Mules. Oh, we don't actually have Pedona. We might have to go to the docks first. Yeah, certain places will open up when NPCs mention them. So that is a benefit of talking to the NPCs in the game, is sometimes you'll get new areas just by talking to people. Have you played Octopath? I have. I haven't finished it. I like Octopath. I feel like the combat is kind of cumbersome. I don't think it's bad. I kind of like the shield system, but I don't like it for random encounters. I think it's good for bosses, but for actual random enemies, I just feel like it makes the gameplay a little too long. But that's just my personal opinion. I like that it's a little more challenging than the normal RPG. Yeah, this girl here, I don't want to get her, but you can recruit her. If I had a way to play Lunar 2 again, I would go straight to that. That would be cool. I have Lunar Silver Star Collection, the PS1 game. I thought about streaming that at some point. I'm currently stuck. What? Oh no, she got us. Okay. I'm coming along. And what's your name? Well, my name is Souffle. I didn't want her on our team, but this lady over here trapped us. Don't worry, we can easily get rid of her. I'll show you how. The way to get rid of her is you just go to a specific place. Okay, where are you going? To Padona. Not to be confused with Pomona, which Cheese is familiar with, I'm sure, based on where he is. I have the Lunar 2 collectors for PS1, I just haven't finished it. I couldn't save, so I'd have to start over every time and get as far as I could. That's a shame. I love Lunar. I also love Grandia, too, since they were made by the same development team. Sort of. Sam is he's not a fan of the PSX version of Lunar. He's pretty much a die-hard Sega CD version. The Sega CD version has great music. That's what I really like about it. I kind of prefer the visuals and the overall game of the PSX version, though. Oh yeah, I've played plenty of Xenogears. I've played Xenogears, SaGa, and Xenoblade. Oh, did we lose Thomas? I don't remember. I'd like to keep him. Okay, maybe we don't get to keep Thomas. That sucks. Oh no, Thomas left. Where are you going? Oh hey! Since we're here, we can go to the pub. And the pub has this guy downstairs, which gives us access to our bank. So we can go find all of my awesome items and weapons. Like, we can get the Mortis Bow. Actually, I don't know if I want to do that, because Mortis Bow, if you equip it, makes you a zombie. This is an odd situation I was in. I remember watching a demo for Xenogears and I really wanted to play it. So I rented a copy, but it kept freezing and crashing on a cutscene, so I went back and got another copy for it to do it again on the same cutscene. I never had that happen to me on any other game. Do you remember what cutscene it was? I've had certain games crash on certain, like, FMVs. I'm going to Belova. That's pretty much the best axe. I don't know about the bow. I guess we can give her the reinforced bow. We could try the Mortus. Dragon scale shield. Mirror shield. This is one of the best shields in the game, and you can only get it as a drop from two enemies, which is the Zero Beetle and the Ginryu. Anything else we want to do? Nah, we don't have any other people. Also, I have these awesome rings, which are exclusive to this version of the game. The Mage Ring halves the cost of spells. The Expert Ring halves the cost of techniques. The Master Ring lets you master techniques, I guess. I find it to be, I don't know. I find it to be wonky. Expert Ring. I'll take a Mage Ring just in case. I got a bunch of accessories. Padded Gi. Mobile armor. It's really not necessary, but I think it was this one. Let me click that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just clicking through it, but that's pretty early cutscene, so yeah, I can see that you didn't really get too far then. Someone in the comment section of that video says Wild Arms Second Ignition is the best RPG ever. I like the game, I wouldn't go that far. I'm pretty sure I've talked about Wild Arms 2 with Nemo before and talked about its crazy story. Oh, Tunic, Padded Gi. Let's give her the Twilight Robe. Give her the Expert Ring. Okay, this is all fine. Alright. Sorry about that. My dog was scratching my door because he's scared of being alone. Okay. Let's give her the Bulova. This is really overkill right now, but I don't care. I'm giving them basically endgame level equipment. I'm not giving you anything, though. You suck. I don't like her. The only interesting thing about her is that whenever you recruit her, her name is randomized from a set of options. Oh, what the heck? Oh, that's right, yeah. Thomas is coming over here. There's a couple of characters you can recruit here. Charl and Muse. You'd be surprised how many people took refuge from Ludwig's tyranny here in Old Town. We don't have to do any of this, though, yet. Yeah, there's... The Archfiend Palace is up here. We can go this way. one of the bosses you need to beat the game is in here. The enemies should still be low level, though. Let me see. Yeah. I don't want to do all this yet. There's actually a couple characters I wouldn't mind doing in a playthrough. There's a character called Undine and a character named Boston I would like to use. I want to use more magic users. Because magic is something I haven't touched a whole lot in this game, but there's like so many cool things you can do, like fusion spells and things like that. Let's go to Ryblov. But I don't want to go. Good, get out. Yeah, so if you want to get rid of her, go to Ryblov. Rzhev, the leading trader in Ryblov, puts those in Yarmouth and Wilmington to shame. Yeah, so you would learn more about that if you do Thomas's minigame. Have you perchance stumbled upon Tatiana? I'm not going to touch that one. What do you have to say, old man? The lack of a clear air is tearing the Rzhev family apart at the seams. Ryblov supported Ludwig in his campaign, yet Podona seems wholly unaware of the sacrifices we made. So each of the little towns in this game have their own little stories going on. Solar energy. I don't want to buy any spells. Alright, now that we've gone to Ryblov, we've unlocked it on the map. And that's basically what you can do. You can go out and pay the fare, and then once you pay the fare and go to a place, you unlock it on the map permanently. So, where do we want to go to next? We could go to Zweig. As I said, this game is basically open world, so there's not really a place we need to go to right now. You can kind of do what you want to do. Oh, look, there she is. Yeah, she shows up if you don't have her already in your party. So just avoid her. Beyond the small mountains lies a small village called Kurdland, and that should unlock Kurdland on our map. She really wants to join our team, it seems. I gotta be careful. Everyone talks about the eccentric inventor living in a mansion in Westos Forest. That is something we could do early on. Nowhere in the world can compare to Zweig. These guys, the Splenderous Castle belongs to the Duke of Zweig. You folks here to participate in the tournament. We shouldn't do that yet. Peculiar animals have been sighted scurrying around Westos Forest. And that kind of unlocks a little side quest for us. We can go to Kurdland first. We pine for a hero to rid us of the foul creature. Okay. If anyone can tell you about the danger we face, it's the mirror. Oh yes, this guy. I don't want to do this quest yet either. But they're having a bit of a mouse problem, you could say. Man, what kind of person would have multiple rat monsters in an RPG? That just, I don't know, that seems so lazy to me. Yeah, let's go to Justerm. I just realized, I guess Sarah, she has her own town theme. That's interesting. It's not the same as Julian's or Thomas's. Well, maybe there's a different town theme depending on whether the main character is male or female. Huh. Okay. And we unlock Lance. Nice. Oh, hey, here's Ward. I used him in my last playthrough. He's pretty good. Pretty tanky. Just passing through. I might help you out later, Ward. Lance. This is probably the first thing you should do when you're playing, but it doesn't matter, like I said. I just feel like this is one of the easiest things to do. Let's go to the shop. Right here. This man pacing. What with all the bandits running about, I dare not leave the city walls. Will you bring these items to Yarmouth for 1,000 orums? Sure. Great, don't tarry, time's a-wasting. Alright, so we're going to help transport some goods. We got some thieves here. Which they have a nice little unique... There's only another area where you see the sprite and it's in a different context, but pretty cool. Chase, do you play Super Smash Bros? I haven't played it in a while, but I do own it, and I used to play it quite a bit. I enjoy playing online with my friends when I get the chance. I think we have to win like 6 fights, I believe. If you're ever up for it one day, yeah, sure. Like, did you want to stream it or just play it normally? Doesn't matter to me either way, but... A crescent blade. Interesting. Yeah, so now they start retreating, which means they run away from you, and you want to catch one. Spare me, I'll give you anything. And ask for info. Our hideout rests in Stanley's outlying mountain range. Yep. So that unlocks the bandit's cave. That was a quick 1,000 orums. Okay, so now we're in Yarmouth, which we unlock Yarmouth now. Yeah, there's a couple of characters you can unlock here. I used one of them in my last playthrough. I'll save. Why not? Should we? I don't. Oh yeah, we can actually. If you go back to Lance and talk to that guy again, you can do a second one. We can do that. This is just some quick, easy money at the beginning of the game, which I have plenty of money, but if you're playing again for the first time, you might want to do this. Will you bring these items to Pharos for 2,000 orums? Sure. Now, of course, we can just run to the end of the path. And that should be it. That was an easy 2,000 orums. Yep. There is a side quest associated with this place as well. We don't want to do that yet. Another fun thing is that if you press the Y button, you can immediately go to the world map. So it's very nice. You can even do that indoors. But somebody mentioned those strange pets in the forest. We can do that now. It's actually better to do this early, because at a certain point you can't do this anymore. So let's go to the Westos Forest. And here's one of them. It's the mug plant. Remember the rose plant we saw before? This one has a funny face. So let's fight it. And you'll know you're fighting one of the strange ones because, well, they look different compared to normal enemies, and they have their own battle theme. We caught the mug plant. There should be a few more in here. Yeah, I think all the orange sprites are the enemies. I believe you have to click A. This is the bunny. There's actually... You know what? Now that I think about it, there's an enemy like this in Romancing SaGa 2. The rabbit with the clock. Huh. Oh, that's bad. Oops. Alright. I'm getting a bit tired of it doing this. Well, it doesn't really matter. Honestly, I kinda want to stop here anyway, because I'm getting a bit of a neck cramp. So yeah, that is Romancing Saga 3. For although I know Nemo was curious about me playing it, so it's a very fun game. It's not as complicated as you might think, but if you ever decide to get it and have any questions, just ask me. It's very fun though, especially if you're familiar with RPGs. The way it does things different compared to other RPGs is part of the appeal for me. Yeah, thank you, Nemo, and thank you, Cheese, for stopping by. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys tomorrow on Nemo stream. Take care, everybody.